Hello, and welcome to the Focus Friday Focus Series with the KU Alumni Association, specifically the Student Alumni Network. My name is Paige Freeman, and I use the pronouns she, her, hers, and I have the privilege of serving as the Director of Student Programs with the KU Alumni Association. But today, I'll be serving as the moderator for this Focus Friday's Focus Series, presenting to you the I Am Woman, There is Power in Your Pen session. Before we get started, of course, I want to share with you all a little bit more about this series and what you all can expect from this specific session. So for context, our Focus Friday series is an initiative created for the Student Alumni Network, as well as our body of global Jayhawks who are alumni members, to share with you all a focus series that shares helpful information, opportunities, and resources from our local and campus community organizations and departments at the University of Kansas. It is important to note that our Focus Friday series will continue to be offered virtually, and you can anticipate for us to launch new content, so a new, fresh, exciting topic on each month's first and final Friday. And so what you all can expect from today's session is that we're going to highlight Right On Black Girl as a community organization dedicated to amplifying the voices of Black women who write. Through this session, we aim to highlight this organization by bringing exposure to the work that is currently being done through Right On Black Girl, to truly elevate and honor Black women writers by affirming Black women's storytelling, creativity, and influence, to share with current KU students and our alumni members through this Focus Friday series platform. And so while today's session is a pre-recorded session, no worries, our speaker today will be sharing contact information at the end for further outreach and discussion regarding today's topic. So today we are joined by the Nikita Haynie, who serves as the founder for Right On Black Girl. And so to share a little bit more context about our lovely speaker today, Nikita is an audacious Black woman from Atlanta, Georgia. She is an educator, creative, dreamer, and writer. She currently serves as a career advisor senior in the Business Career Services Center at KU School of Business. She earned her bachelor's degree in English literature with a minor in African American studies from Clayton State University. And then she later earned her master's degree in higher education administration from Georgia Southern University. She's currently, because of course, you know, Nikita is just so audacious of a writer and learner, educator. She's currently pursuing her master's of fine arts in writing with an emphasis on fiction from the University of Nebraska, Omaha. Throughout her career trajectory, she has successfully put student theory into practice, supporting and creating inclusive spaces and communities for diverse student populations. And in her commitment, she is actively involved in the American College Personnel Association, so acronym ACPA for those that are watching, and the Pan-African Network, as a co-chair of the foundation's mentoring program, and recently was named as the incoming co-chair-elect for 2022 to the 2023 fiscal year. Congratulations, Nikita. In addition to the Coalition of Multicultural Affairs Outstanding Contributions to Multiculturalism 2022 award recipient. That was a recent award she just won, you all. She is committed to supporting and impacting collegial experiences holistically for students. And outside of her professional roles, she serves as the assistant editor for the Pedestal Project, which is a space dedicated to also uplifting Black women, where she previously served as a contributing volunteer, as a writer, and also as the creator of Right On Black Girl as a movement, as we share, dedicated to amplifying the voices of Black women who write. Lastly, Nikita's mission is to influence the world through storytelling, centering on Black women and their experiences. Nikita is committed to leaving a legacy of writing, Black womanhood, and creativity in the world. And I think that by this robust bio, that is no secret. And so without further ado, I introduce to you all the Nikita Haynie. So Nikita, to get us started, how about you just kick us off with just telling us a little bit more about what is Write on Black Girl and what does this organization mean to you?
Yes, so as you mentioned, Write on Black Girl is a movement dedicated to amplify the voices of Black women who write. This is very personal to me. It is something that was planted in my spirit back in 2019 before the world turned upside down. And I sat with this idea and this vision for so long because writing and reading is definitely a part of who I am as a Black woman. It is what helped me as a child. It is a safe space for me. It was always that for me growing up. You could always, my mom will tell you, she always found me, staying up late at night, reading books. She would have to take them from me because I would just be so enamored by these books that I was reading. I would also be writing a lot. And so what Write on Black Girl means to me is just the opportunity to continue to encourage and empower Black girls and women to write and read and tell our story and tell our experiences. I think oftentimes we are left out of the historical context of literature and writing when we are actually a really big part of that. And so I really just want to continue to bring awareness and exposure to that and continue to have this safe space that, really held me down my whole life and create that for other Black girls and women. And so for me, Write on Black Girl is a movement, it's a way of life, it's a safe space, it's a creative space, it's a valuable space. And so that's what it means to me.
Whew, it is a safe space. It's a creative space. It sounds like Write on Black Girl is truly a space for Black women and those that either have experience with writing and those that are interested in writing to come and dream.
Yes.
So maybe could you talk about what are the benefits and what have you seen be the impact that Write on Black Girl has had on or could have on students and alumni members who wish to subscribe?
Yeah.
And then a little twofold question to that is, if I am not an active writer and I want to get started, is Write on Black Girl also a space for me?
Yeah, so Write on Black Girl is for wherever you are in that journey of reading and writing. So if you are an avid reader, you're an avid writer, it's the space for you. If you like, this is something I really want to tap into, or, I've never been a reader, but I'm interested, it's the space for you. So regardless of where you are in that, Write on Black Girl is for you. It is definitely an opportunity for you to once again become more aware of the illustrious world of Black women writers and tap into these different resources and books. And I think one of the main benefits is that if you are someone who has found that writing is therapeutic for you, it's a form of healing for you, it's a creative space for you, then this is where you can come and learn, different techniques, tips, resources, connect with other women who are in the same space as you. And just, it's a community. I think one of the most powerful things about Black women in general, and this is something that I have actually been researching in my master's program, and it's a part of my thesis, is that language for Black women is a part of our history. It's how we communicate with one another, it's how we commune with one another, it's how we fellowship. And so that is what the benefits of this is, and then I definitely have seen a lot of folks who, they're like, I was so empowered by, a quote you might have posted today, or I saw this book you posted on Write on Black Girl, and I was like, oh, I have to go and get that book and dive into it, And so I think for me, I'm just really encouraged and empowered by the fact that even something as small as that can change a Black woman or a Black girl's mindset on their experience, their story, or if they want to write a story. I think we get so bogged down in thinking we have to be perfect at all of these things. But I think the beauty in Write on Black Girl is that it's so many books in the world, And that is so unique because every Black woman or girl has their own unique voice. You know what I mean? If you write a book tomorrow and I write a book tomorrow, it's going to sound different because we're both different, but we're the same. And so that is the benefit in buying into the movement, joining the movement if you want to. I don't ever want anyone to feel hesitant about Right On Black Girl. It doesn't matter where you are in your journey, it's for all of us.
And I think that comment that you made, Nikita, is a great segue to my next question. So when you talk about where you are in your journey, so with the audience being students and alumni members near and far, right? We know we have this global world of Jayhawks. So what can people expect? How can they join this community? What can they gain from being a part of Right On Black Girl? So could you talk a little bit, because I know that Right On Black Girl puts on a lot of different programs and workshops. Could you talk about maybe what have you done in the past and what can folks expect from the future?
Yes. So the very first thing I did when I actually got this movement up and running, I definitely was a part of the Black Women's Writers Virtual Summit. And we gave our first workshop there. And then after that, we have done, thank you, writing workshops, a writing workshop series. And so in that series, I definitely had different workshops on different topics. So the first one was tapping into your authentic voice as a writer. And then the second one, we did a journaling workshop where I brought in two separate entities. So one Black woman who had written a journal for Black women from a more spiritual context, and then two Black women who created a journal for Black women regarding self-care. And so doing a journaling workshop on that. And then upcoming here, I have been trying to be very intentional about different things. And so I also have been a part of different authors' launch teams for when they're launching a book. And so what that means is that I have the opportunity to read books ahead of time, and then I create a blog post reviewing those books to just kind of bring more awareness to what the author is writing about. And so in the future, something that I'm really excited about, I am going to be partnering with different Black women spaces that also have the same mission around helping Black women with writing and all of those things. And then this summer, I hope to do like a hot girl summer challenge. You know, I love Megan Thee Stallion. She's just so audacious and really owns her agency. But in that series, it's going to be different components of it. So I plan to have, you know, where I bring on authors, talk to them on IGTV, also doing different workshops to talk about the history of Black women in writing, and then highlighting different books that are going to be popping this summer. So just continuing to, again, amplify the voices of all the beautiful Black women and girls in the world that are just putting these different stories out into the world. And so that is what you can look forward to. You know, I would love to at some point, you know, here in Lawrence, maybe do like a community reading with Black girls in different high schools on different books and things like that. But, you know, it's one day at a time, one step at a time. And I think we're headed in the right direction.
Most definitely. And we know that as Black women sharing this identity, it can be tough in the world that we live in. And so Right On Black Girl seems like a safe and a body of community that current KU students, alumni members, this would be a space where even if you don't think you're great of a writer, which I think all of us are great of a writer, just to meet other women and network, because the power of networking is so important. So, you know, we talked a lot about, and Nikita, you are really emphasizing why you created Right On Black Girl, which is to create space and give Black women an opportunity to have a voice, right? Giving voice to the voiceless. And so I love this question because I love the title of this session, being that it is, it's March, it's Women's History Month, and today we're centering Black women experiences. So with thinking about Right On Black Girl and, you know, why there was a need, a gap, a desire to create Right On Black Girl, reflecting on this title, I am woman and there is power in your pen. Could you maybe speak to how you have personally used Right on Black Girl, and how you have used your pen to network, to storytell, and to truly provide voice to the voiceless?
Yes, wow, what a fantastic question.
It was a big one.
It was, it's so layered, but again, I think that, Black women, we have a rich history, we have unique experiences, and I know that we are in a time, since the beginning of time, our voices have definitely been silenced, and so for me, the power in my pen is not being afraid to, one, write about these experiences from a vulnerable and a very transparent place, but to also put it out in the world so that other Black women, other Black girls can say, you know what, I can relate to that. And if Nikita can write about it, then I can write about it too. For me, it's just about continuing to write from a place of advocacy for Black women and knowing that we are not alone in these experiences. And so also aligning myself with different opportunities that allow me to do that. It's a scary thing to be tenacious in that way and speak to these different experiences, because as we know, when Black women, we talk about some of the more of the challenging experiences that we've had, folks try to gaslight us that that's not what's happening. It's not real, but it is. And so for me, growing up, I definitely was a talker. I still am a talker. And I think growing up, you need to be quiet. You don't need to talk as much. But I think as I have gotten older, and even as I have poured into this particular movement that I have created, I have found my voice, and that is so encouraging to me. So if there are other Black women and girls who have been told, like, you talk too much, it's like, no, you don't talk enough. You know what I mean? And so for me, writing has definitely, that is my power. That is my superpower, is what I often say. And so I just think it's important for other Black women and girls to know that your experiences are real, and the way you can continue to advocate and help other women and empower other women is to write about those. Even if you don't think you're a good writer, just put it out there. Words are powerful. They change lives. My life has been changed through the power of words. And so I just want to help other Black girls and women find their voice like I have found mine, and continuing to find it on a day-to-day basis.
Wow. That was a word, Nikita. Because finding your voice is just so important, and remembering your positionality that you take when it comes to your voice, and what power you truly do have in writing. Even me, like, this is encouragement for me to go from talking and write, and use my pen as an opportunity to share my story and to share other stories of women in communities who are not often given the platform. Mm-hmm. So when thinking about opportunities that Right on Black Girl is truly providing to Black women, so as a Black woman and a current KU staff member, bringing it back to the actual university setting, can you talk about how Right on Black Girl has contributed to your work as a KU staff member? And maybe what resources does Right on Black Girl provide to KU students and alumni members who do wish to subscribe to this?
Yes. So I think it informs the work that I do. When you were reading my nice bio, I think that is the thread for me from Right on Black Girl to what I do in a professional role, is definitely finding ways that I can fill the gaps and provide space for folks who don't often get that opportunity. And so, even thinking about here at the university where you, Paige Freeman and Jordan Brandt, we definitely saw a gap here for a space for Black women here matriculating at the university. So when we're talking about gems, gifted, empowered, motivated sisters, I think it just informs everything that I do. And I think in knowing that, again, Black women are having these experiences and sometimes we can feel isolated, I think it connects, reading, again, it's a form of therapy. Writing is a form of therapy. It's a way to heal from a lot of different things as well. And so some of the resources is, you can go to the website, the Right on Black Girl website, and you can find these different organizations that align with the mission that I'm talking about. So, different platforms that provide resources if you want to, write and enter a contest, or if you want to go to different events where you can connect with other women or hear a Black woman writer or author talk about the book that they wrote. And then again, I think it's just so important to continue to allow space for students and alumni who identify as Black women to have community, to be able to talk about these different experiences, and not even just negative experiences, positive experiences too. You can have a book club discussion, everybody read the book and then everybody brings these different perspectives and we can learn and grow and evolve from one another in those different perspectives, and so those are the ways in which I see it connecting. I feel like as Right on Black Girl it's closing a gap that has been there for a long time. It also translates into the work that I do, again, day to day as a professional, because it's so important to create space for our students who are underrepresented and they might not feel like their voices are often heard. And so for me, it's all a part, it's the thread of who I am at my core as a professional and who I am at my core as a human and a creative. So.
Absolutely. And when you were talking, Nikita, I could not think, couldn't really shake the internal thought of the power of mentorship and the power, the importance of lifting as you climb. You know what I mean? So reaching back as you are climbing. And so thinking about you as a Black woman and as a writer, specifically through your many different hats that you're playing, right? You are involved in the community. You are involved with Right on Black Girl. You are involved on KU's campus. Nikita, I know that this thought and this idea was a manifestation that started a while ago, that caused for you to create Right on Black Girl. So with that, and thinking about mentorship and thinking about Black women who have influenced you, with it being Women's History Month, could you share with us as the final question, who is a writer, Black woman writer, or an author who inspires you, and how do lessons and skills show up in your work?
That's such a really, really powerful question. And so the answer to that is going to be Toni Morrison, who actually was the catalyst to Right on Black Girl. When she passed, I was actually going through a period where I was having writer's block. And when she passed, it really impacted me because she is such a authentic and loud and proud Black woman. And then when we get into the space of her work and her writing, she was very unapologetic about her voice and what she was writing about. She never subscribed to the standards that, oftentimes the literary world wants to place on Black women, specifically our counterparts. And so I am just inspired by her tenacity to say, this is who I am, this is what I want to write about, and this is what I am going to write about. And so in knowing that she has done that, and she really didn't get, she did, but she didn't really get, in my opinion, the praise that she deserved for what she put out into the world. And so from that, I am inspired by how she refuses to let anyone put her in a box as a writer. She really stuck to her authenticity, to who she was as a writer. She never sold out from that. And I think that's just a beautiful thing. And I think that is the power of being a Black woman. There is a quote from her that I would like to share really quick that I often have to go back to remind myself when I am experiencing self-doubt as a writer, and like, nobody's going to want to read this, nobody cares, those types of things. And so she says, being a Black woman writer is not a shallow place, but a rich place to write from. It does not limit my imagination, it expands it. And so I think that is truly what I embody when I'm thinking about my writing, when I'm thinking about this movement, and when I'm thinking about mentoring, you know, maybe my students who might have a passion for writing as well. So yeah.
Wow. Wow. I think we can all take away something and learn from the great Toni Morrison. And from this session, Nikita, I think that all of our audience members today can also learn and take something from this session, because I'm inspired by the work of Toni Morrison, but I'm truly inspired by the work that Write on Black Girl is currently doing in the space that you all are creating. To truly bridge this gap and fill a void to give Black women space, because you know, the power of a voice and power of Black women is, you know, it's limitless. And so thank you for your work, your labor, your efforts. I hope that you all that are tuning in also appreciated this information. So we just want to give a special thanks to our speaker, the Nikita Haynie, for joining us here today. And again, I'm just so proud of you as a fellow Black woman, the work that you're doing through Write on Black Girl. So keep up the great work. Just a reminder, everyone, we will launch a Focus Friday session on the first and final Friday of each month. And each session is going to highlight a different topic. And so for this session, with it being Women's History Month, we really wanted to honor Nikita Haynie as a Black woman and thank her for her labor. And so if you would like to watch this session at a later time, this session can be found on KU Alumni Association's website. And if y'all have any questions about the Focus Friday series, please do not hesitate to reach out by calling our office or emailing at kualumni@kualumni.org. And with that being said, thank you all and rock chop.